Hi, my name is Rebecca Helget, and I'm reporting for USD 239 on teacher and school liability. School is definitely presumed to be a safe place where teachers teach and students learn. However, in districts, teachers are faced with many social, unpredictable situations that could put us into situations that we weren't intended to occur. It probably isn't necessarily rocket scientist that teachers instruct, supervise, and provide safety for students. This is called in loco parentis, and we definitely take necessary measures to ensure that the school environment is safe and conducive for students. However, as you look at the picture next to me, we have to start taking necessary measures to protect ourselves and children. And as you can see over here, I find it actually kind of comical. We have lots of rules and expectations for our students to keep safety at its best. I think it's very important for school personnel to know that it's important to protect ourselves. And so the umbrella represents protection. And in many situations, teachers have the responsibility of individual liability, because in certain situations, school personnel may be held individually liable for their actions that result in a student injury. And so we need to definitely be aware of our individual rights related to individual liability. Vicarious liability also is another liability under that umbrella. And since school districts are deemed employers of the teacher, they also may be held liable for neglect behavior of their employees. Liability of school personnel, it's also very important for us to know what foreseeability and nuisance means. Foreseeability is definitely a crucial element in liability cases, especially in cases involving negligence. Foreseeability, it's defined as the teacher's or administrator's ability to predict or anticipate that a certain activity or situation may prove harmful to students. And nuisance may be described as any dangerous or hazardous condition that limits free use of property by the user. And so I have a little visual here. It's the dukes of safety hazards, but we definitely need to be preventative and aware of the things that are out there, because we need to be able to see those ants that could be lurking around. A tort is an actionable or civil wrong committed against one person by another, which is independent of contract. There are two different types of torts, one being intentional tort to the left, which results from a deliberate act committed against another person, that being assault, battery, defamation, false imprisonment, trespass to personal property, which could be related to mental stress, which is associated with liability. Changes in mental distress usually arise when somebody exhibits some type of anxiety or such from another person's behavior. False imprisonment would be illegally detained illegally by a teacher or a principal. That would be an intentional tort. And then trespassing on personal property is another type of tort, which involves confiscating or interfering with the use of a student's personal property without proper authority. Another type of tort is unintentional tort, which is a wrong by someone who fails to exercise the degree of care in doing what is otherwise permissible. Basically meaning the person acts neglectfully. That would be the standard of care, duty to protect the student, by conforming them to certain standards, breach of duty, which is failure to meet the standards, duty of care, proximity or legal cause, injury, and those would all definitely be under the unintentional tort. It is definitely our role as educators to prevent those torts from ever occurring by definitely using foreseeability and prevent the nuisance from even happening. And so supervision is very important, and taking measures to do so related to before and after supervision is important, especially when you think of the age of individual students. Elementary definitely don't always have a fear of those dangerous situations. Middle school and high school can put themselves into situations that definitely could cause harm. So before and after school supervision is very important, along with field trips. Field trips is very important. Those unpredictable social situations that can occur can take place. It's also important to get parent consent prior to any type of activity and written waivers allowing children to participate in a certain school-sponsored activity away from school. In conclusion, obviously, I'm not a lawyer and don't have the terminology to give you the highly educated vocabulary related to liability. However, one thing I do know, common sense. William James quoted, "When you have to make a choice and don't make it, that is in itself a choice. That being said, use good judgment."